subscribe, and share. Yep, I'm back at it again. Still sanding. As you can see, there's a little bit of a high spot right there I got to work out. So I'm kind of glad that I went ahead and sanded down the back of this again. I thought for sure that this was really a high spot, but it looks like I have a low spot right through here. Kind of see it on video. Definitely see it in person. It's not real bad, but I want to get it perfect. I hated to have to throw another coat on there, but I had to. I think I might have gotten it with this one. Them bugs love body work. Pecker gnat. Well, I got that first coat sanded down, and I had a couple pinholes up here and a little tiny spot that I think I needed to fill. I don't know, I might be throwing too much filler to it, but oh well. It all sands off in the end, believe me. Playing around with some of the spray paint that I got, and as you can see, the raindrops in my paint are going to cause me to stop for the night. But that's a gray with a silver over it right there, and that's getting a little close to the factory color. So I'll be playing around with it a little bit later on in this episode, probably. Well, sanded down what I did last night again and put another coat on. Hopefully this might be the last coat. But I think I got one little tiny spot there I need to fix. And I think I've got it straight. So I got the whole deck lid sanded down with 220 today. Hopefully this is the last time I've got to sand down the whole deck lid. I had a few really tiny pinholes, and I couldn't leave well enough alone, so I had to fill them. So next step, 320 and a sealer coat of primer, and I might be able to get a little bit of paint on this today. I got it sanded down with 300 grit. I got it sanded down with 400 grit. Now I'm gonna use a Scotch-Brite to clean all the dust and stuff off. And I'm having a problem today. See all these little gnats? I don't know if you can see them flying around, but they're all over the place. You see them? And they keep on landing on my sanded area. So it kind of makes me wonder, are they going to land on it after I paint it? So it's been a little while since I've used this machine. It took me a good minute to figure out how to load it back up, but I got it. I love these. Now, I've never used this purple tape before. It says it's for auto and for curve services, hugs, tight auto curves. I went into my local Ollie's, which is a discount store, and they had it for $2.99 a roll. So I bought the last 2 rolls. I was like, yep, that's cheap. Let me go ahead and get that. I was in there looking for some cheap paint or some other stuff. Of course, I didn't find any that I liked. They had this, which is Rustoleum bed coating clear, for $4.99 a quart. So yeah, I picked up a quart, and I picked up some of the tint for it. The tint was the same price, $4.99. But whenever I go to tear out the interior and trunk, I'm probably going to coat this down as a little bit of sound deadening. I've taped up all the way around the inside with paper. And when I shut the deck lid, it should seal everything off. Yeah, so these little gnats keep on landing on my deck lid. And as soon as I shoo them off, well, then another one lands in its place. My buddy up the road said that I could use the back of his shop to spray it, so I'm going to take advantage of that. I made it up to his shop, and hopefully I can get some primer laid down. What I'm going to use for a sealer coat is this 2X flat gray primer. And the reason I'm going to use this 2X flat gray primer is because every time I've tried to sand this after it's dried, it seems to want to gum up sandpaper. So I'm kind of going to use this as a sealing primer. I had just enough to give it this coat, so hopefully that works out well. I'm going to let this dry up, and then probably going to spray a grayish silver that I've got. I had a heck of a time trying to find any type of rattle can paint that would match this silver. So I got this light gray, and then I'm going to miscoat this silver aluminum over top of it. I've tested this out, played around with it a little bit. If I use this lightly over top of that gray, then it almost matches the original color. Well, the can's almost empty. And I got paint where I wanted paint. The center section, I'm going to put a design. So I just wanted kind of a miscoat on that. But these outer side areas and down through here, I kind of wanted a nice thick coat to go on. Now, gotta let this tack off, and I'm going to try spraying a little bit of the silver over top of it real lightly to give it that metallic look. See how it added that silver tone to it? So I'm going to try to spray this off camera, so it's making it a lot simpler, and I'll be back in a little bit. You can see the metallics flying around in the air. Now what I'm going to do is come back a couple days later and mask off my design and scuff it again and spray my design. But I want this to kind of cure up before I do it, because I've had problems with tape pulling the paint off with rattle can. So if I let it dry for a couple days, should be fine. We're getting to my favorite color, clear. So I'm going to spray clear around the edges of it, and hopefully when I tape off the other side, I can kind of like level the clear from that over onto this. So painting is always a gamble. That's just a little bit of clear on it right now. Don't look bad. See how I streaked it down? Just got a miscoat on here. Well, I got a little heavy with the clear. I sagged it through here. So that's okay. The design that I'm going to do is probably going to cover that up anyway. You can see right here where I kind of just like rolled it right on down. When you have a sag, sometimes you just keep on spraying until it comes down here. Sometimes that's a lot easier to fix afterwards than letting it go. But my idea is to run a design maybe like right through here. So I only wanted just a little bit of an edge, and I think I've got it. Oh well, at least it's got a little paint on it and it won't rust now. Oh, it's definitely not as smooth as I wanted, but color almost kind of matches. A little bit darker, but I bet you if this was shined up right here that it would be pretty similar. I messed that up right there, sagged it, but that's fine. It should work out in the end. And I got a little spot up here where it curled, where the paint, the new paint, activated some of the old paint. So I'm probably going to have to do a little touch up there when I do the final paint job. But I'm happy for right now. Decklid at least looks a little silver and it's got a little gloss to it. You know, one of my buddies said I should leave it the way it is. Just like spray a flat coat over top of it because it matches the rest of the car all faded. Well, I'm playing around with a little bit of tape today. Hopefully some people can see what I'm getting ready to lay down. Well, I got it all taped up. Now hopefully tomorrow I can get it all scuffed and sanded and get some paint laid down.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad. I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad. Doing no cap. Only God wants you better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad. Yeah. Baby, I'm bad.
I just wanna stay bad, stay mad. Chip on my shoulder cause they treat me like an outcast. I ain't gonna take that, stay back. I'll be swinging hard till the hits come in all caps. I ain't gonna lay back, pray that someone's gonna help me. Ain't nobody like that. I ain't gonna wait, that's all fact. Give me one shot and I'll never get the throne back. I'm sick of being cautious. I'ma go cause something, can't stop this. I'ma steal everybody's lane, call it shoplift. Sick of hearing everyone complain when they thoughtless. Taste the pain, it's like candy canes. It makes me go change into a better frame, into a better name. Society's insane, we all live for fame, yeah. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad. I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad. Do it no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad. Baby, I'm bad. I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up. Baby, I'm bad. I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad. Do it no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad. Baby, I'm bad. I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, I'm live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad. I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad. Do it no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad. Baby, I'm bad.
Only God wants you better.
Now I'm gonna let this dry for a good little bit. Well, I'm losing sunlight, so I kind of want to go ahead and get just a little bit of clear on there before I pull all the...
I've got an itch I can't scratch, I'm missing a piece that completes a whole part of me, an open wound scar to see. Everybody come here, gather round, welcome to the freak show, the best in town. What the hell's wrong with me? I don't get along with anybody, honestly. I've been living in my own head constantly, thoughts jumbled around, think I need a new lobotomy. Wait, all these thoughts are too negative. I don't wanna get lost in the sedative. Gotta show them what I got, I'm competitive. You know I'm about to go off, I won't let them win, I'll take a stab. I wanna chase a bag, I wanna weigh, I can change all the things I lack. I gotta face the facts, I got a taste in that. Got me obsessed with the rest, I got an itch to scratch. I'll give up everything. The venom in my brain, running from the past, wanna escape my pain. I just wanna be a better person, I deserve this, I just wanna break these chains. Always asking for greatness, true to myself, I never fake it. Seen too many once, that is so they get famous. And when I say the truth, most really can't take it. In spite of everything I've been through, I'ma make it. Fake friends, but on my downfall is toxic. Day one, started the outlaws for profit. All I do is write verses, no talking. All I do is put the work in, no option. This was everything I ever wanted, created a legacy off of me just being honest. And the fake ones hate, but it's all to no avail. They wanna see me lose, but you know I never fail. I'll give up everything, daunting if I can see my dream. Cause I'll do anything, want a reality. I'll give up everything, daunting if I can see my dreams. Cause I'll do anything, want a reality. Don't let go, don't let go. I'll make things right. Cause I'll do anything, want a reality.
That's good. Maybe I should stop there. Well, I got a little impatient last night and peeled off a little bit before I should have. That probably should have been let to dry and then cut afterwards. But hopefully the pinstripe will cover that up. Now, I'm going to take a razor blade, an X-Acto knife, and cut around these. So hopefully I don't have that problem. Seems to be nice and dry now. As you can see right there, this paint's still soft. So I gotta be just gentle with it and cut all the way around that edge. If I'd have done this last night, I probably wouldn't have had that problem. I finally got it untaped. It's not perfect. There's a fair amount of imperfections, like right here, that I did last night when it was too moist. So I'm going to need to let this cure and then come back and fix it later. Now, I do have pinstripe, which will cover up a lot of little tiny imperfections like this, which is a little bit of overspray. Also, have a few spots where I chipped out the silver. This is what I got for pinstripe. One shot, sublime green. It's a bright green. It almost matches the tips of the frames. Now, the little touch-ups back in the silver, I have a gloss gray and an aluminum that I should be able to use to touch up some minor imperfections. Just need to get some reducer for these and should be able to do it with my brush. So I started playing around with some of the pinstripes today and getting down some of the areas that were kind of rough and going ahead and getting a coat on there. So I've been playing around with a little bit of orange. I'm almost done with that green though. And I'm thinking about outlining everything with this orange that I have. I started playing with it and I was like, I kind of like that, and just continued to work with it. Gives it that extra kick. And I've got a couple spots that I got to touch up. That was tape. You can see it right there. That was tape. And when I tried to get the glue off, I ate through the glue into the paint. So I got a couple little tiny spots I'm gonna have to touch up. This is a very time-consuming venture right here. You get a little bit at a time each day. Man, this is so addictive. Just going back in and touching up my spots and making the curves right. It's so addictive. Now I see why the pinstripers do what they do. It's so much fun. Now, if you remember, this was the really, really bad area that was all chewed up from my mistake of pulling the tape too early. And it's starting to get smoother and smoother. And of course, after I get a couple layers of clear over top of this, it'll be a lot smoother. As you can tell, I'm getting some of the orange laid down in full. And I'm really starting to like that. Pops out. Makes it stand out from the other colors a little bit. I think I might be done with the orange. Now I'm gonna have to go back in and touch up some of the green. Like example right there, or overlap the orange, and need of course straighten up that edge right there. But starting to look good. It's amazing to fix paint. Adding more paint works. I touched up the green today, and there might be a few areas in the orange that I got to touch up, but I think I'm pretty close to being done back here. Now, I need to run a stripe up through here all the way to the back of the car. My idea is to use the orange, and I'm going to lay down pinstripe, or I'm going to lay down tape to help me with the pinstripe, because that's going to be hard to make that line straight. Well, I don't know if I got them straight. That tape likes to get a curve on it. And I don't know if I got this side any better. But I'm going to try at least. I mean, what's the worst I could mess up? The whole paint job? Hopefully when I pull this tape back, I got a nice crisp line. Okay, so went ahead and pulled up the inside line. And wish me luck on this one. Well, I got some of my touch-ups in the silver done. Now, when I spray clear over top that silver, it kind of like dulls it out a little bit, and real close to the factory paint. So hopefully those hard lines that you see don't show up. I sprayed on just a tiny little bit of clear, and it, see how it kind of hid those areas. But it was a little too soon for the pinstripe. See how it's reacting? So that's fine. That's easy touch up. So I probably picked the coldest, windiest day to do my touch-ups. The last time I did them, I didn't like the way they turned out, so I taped everything back up, Gonna spray some more silver. So I got a couple coats of silver laid down on it. It's starting to look a little bit better. As you can see, that silver almost looks like a mirror. And I'm definitely got some spots in the pinstripe I'm gonna have to touch up now. But oh well. The silver looks better. Even though it's brighter. But clear coat should hide that. So I came out today and thought I was going to get some clear coat on this and, you know, try to level it out. I have a sneaking feeling I will be sanding down everything again. The clear coat is really easy to sag. I'm about ready to give up on this thing. Well, I'm actually kind of glad I sprayed on as much clear as I did, because I've been out here wet sanding and got some 600 grit, and it's coming out pretty smooth. It's like that was a sag right there, and it's not really that noticeable now. Same thing right there, it was a sag and a sag, and this was a spot that was all gummed up and clear. That just recently happened in the last time. So it's getting smoother and smoother, and the way I figure, if I wet sand it and mess up the paint, it was already messed up before, so can I make it any worse? Ooh, that's smooth. I just got done wet sanding it with 1000 grit. Seems pretty smooth, and I should be able to clear over where the 1000 grit laid and you not be able to see it. Now down here, I'm probably going to respray that area right there and probably respray this over here, and I'm talking about the silver. I'm going to back mask the flames and spray that before I spray any clear today. When I painted this one last week, when I added the clear, I got it kind of thick, and that clear seems to reactivate that aluminum spray paint. So that's where it gets that different, darker colors. So if I get those two areas touched up, the silver ought to be finished, and the green that was sprayed seems to be fine. So I might re-clear everything and then re-pinstripe it. I think I've gotten everything taped up that I need to touch up. And I'm going to touch up that edge down through there where that blue was. It's amazing. Took me probably, I don't know, an hour, hour and a half. I didn't track it, to tape all that up just for 3 or 4 minutes worth of spraying. It's crazy, isn't it? Well, that looks better. And this area over here looks better. I'm going to try to get another coat down through here. And I think I'm done over here on this side. I'm probably going to go ahead and spray some clear on here real lightly before I pull everything off tonight. I'm telling you, I think it's kind of crazy. Watch this. That was that aluminum, and it looks real bright and shiny. It's amazing how it dulls it out. Changes the color of it. I think I'm done with the clear for right now. I don't need to spray anymore because I'll end up getting a sag in it. I already got a bug landed in it, so I'll wait until it dries and pick him out. Now hopefully tomorrow, after this dries, I can get the whole deck lid wet sanded down again, get it out in the sun, and get a nice thick coat of clear over everything before I start laying down any more pinstripe. So, I wet sanded down the deck lid again today. As you can see, there's still sand marks across the deck lid. I've sprayed a mist coat, and 100% just a mist coat on the very back of it. And you can see it's starting to cover up the sand scratches, hopefully. I'm going to let this tack up for a good little while before I put a thick coat on it.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade
Here,
away.
I'll record paint drying.
But as you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby I have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you but I can't.
You know what's worse than watching paint dry? Watching clear coat dry, because you can't even tell if it's drying. So I had to do some touch-ups up there in the dark blue because I had 3 bugs land. One of them landed just with his legs, easy. The other one landed on his back. Ugh. The other one landed and was a big enough bug that he just went plop, 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 plop. So I had a few little areas that I had to touch up after I got the bugs out of them when it dried. And back to clearing again. Well, multiple coats of clear. And of course I had the same problem again. Right there. That's fine. I'll just wet sand it again and right before I pinstripe it. Now, it's just, what I don't understand is how long do you have to wait to clear that pinstripe? I'm thinking, because I have some different colors shadowing of the silver, that I might go in and do some, you know, shadows, as in the flame is putting off a shadow. I don't know, I haven't decided yet. That might be kind of complicated to do with this paint job, but something to play around with. Now I just need to let this dry and wet sand it the next couple days and maybe start working on those pinstripes again. I'm kind of wishing I would have done a little bit more basic paint job on this. Maybe I should have left it stock. If you watched my last video where I shaved this, I mentioned something about making a piece to fill in here, and I was going to do it out of metal, but then I started looking at something. The panel that came out of here, the plastic thing, had this curved piece of plastic that set down here when it shut. Well, I decided I wanted to snap it off the back, and I will say Ford has some really good glue. And I did a little modification to it. First thing is, I took some heat, I took a candle, and I flattened out these edges, which were curved. And then I did some cutting, and it's pretty close to fitting in there right now. Now, these pieces right in here, I have to trim out, so this will fit up in it. And on this side, you can see that I just cut off just a tiny little bit. Now that tiny little bit is enough for that panel to fit in right now, where it pushed it out beforehand. Now what I'm using to cut that is a Craftsman variable speed Dremel type tool and some Harbor Freight cutoff discs. Well, that's pretty much what I wanted. I wanted this edge to lap up underneath my round bar, and this edge back here I should be able to shoot some screws, 1 or 2 screws through the backside just to hold it and keep it from rattling. Now hopefully you all can see this, but that black area is the piece that is put in, and when you were behind the car, like let's say driving behind the car, you could see that empty gap of an area. So that's what I wanted to fill in. First of all, to keep trash and debris and stuff from blowing back in the trunk. Now, I've got it temporarily secured with 2 sheet metal screws, which I really don't like. So I might find some other screws, but I don't think it looks too bad. And what I'm going to do is take it off and give it a nice coat of primer and maybe some silver paint. I sprayed a thick coat of fillable, sandable primer and smoothed that out. And then I sprayed some of that silver over top of it. I'm gonna let this dry and probably hit it with a coat of clear. It should be ready to install. Yeah, I can't leave anything alone. The last time I did touch-ups in the blue, I got overspray in the silver. So after seeing that and seeing this, I just decided that I'm going to respray all the silver. So I'm back masking everything and going to spray a nice coat of silver on it. Hopefully it's uniform and everything goes okay. Well, I've almost got it taped up. I got to finish the tips. I bought this thin line tape, and I'm not real happy with it. It doesn't seem to tear like that tape does. But, oh well. I think I got it all taped up. Now I got to pop the deck lid and tape underneath so I don't get any overspray on everything else. Hopefully this is the last time I have to do it. I pulled it out here in the sun to dry a little bit. Well, at least it all looks kind of uniform. So maybe I'll just go with that. Spray a little clear on it before I untape it. You know how my luck is with clear, so. I got some clear on it. I think I'm kind of happy with it for right now. So maybe when I get everything untaped, I can spray a little bit more clear on it to even it out. And then back to wet sanding again. Eventually I'm going to get this done. It's amazing. Something can be so much fun and yet so nerve-wracking at the same time. Well, I think that silver looks so much better than what it did. I got it all unmasked, and I just dusted a little bit of clear over top of it. So maybe tomorrow, after this is all cured up, I can come out here and wet sand it. I was hoping to get this finished for a car show this weekend. There's Rebellion, and I would like to go to that and maybe enter. But I don't know if I'm going to have it pinstriped and finished by then. I wet sanded with 1000 grit this morning, smoothed everything out. And now I'm trying to go back and redo some of the pinstripes. Well, I got a nice coat of the green on. If I'm going to take this thing to a car show, I need to do some cleaning. First of all, I need to get them brag brackets and bags out of there. Sometime upcoming video. Looks so much cleaner than what it did before, didn't it? If you're wondering about the big Lego box, it's full of tools. I always tend to keep tools with me, just in case. Look at that unit. So no offense to Popcorn at all, and hopefully he doesn't take offense for me redoing those. But I just wanted them a little bit wider, and I can't do them straight, so I put down some tape and laid down some new stripes. I also put some clear on the center. As you can see, it looks kind of hazy and rough because I just lightly coated it. That clear coat likes to react with the orange pinstripe. It did do a little crazing on his pinstripes, but not from this coat, from the coat I put on the other day. See if I can find them. Like right there. There's some crazing. And that's no fault of his at all. That's my paint. It seems like the green paint is working okay as long as you don't get a thick coat on it. Once you put a thick coat on it, that's when it starts reacting with it. I wish I could just spray on a nice thick coat right now of clear. Of course, I'm not completely done with the paint job. I still need to add more clear. But these were my leftover paints. I have a little bit of a can of primer, a little bit of can of the dark blue, most of these cans, because I didn't use but just a little bit. The silver is almost empty. And of course, I got a half a can, and I just bought another can of clear to maybe get a top coat on. Now, when I was back looking at paints, originally, I'd bought 2 different types of aluminum. And I may have used this one when I had the problem with the metallics not laying the same. Because this one seems to be a little bit different color than that one. Even though they're same brand, same type, probably for different production years, different mixture. But this one didn't match like that one did. Now these are all the ones that I've used and are all empty. I'll count them up and give you a total before I finish the video. It took a lot of paint to do this. Now granted, a little bit of extra paint was my mess up, but still, it took a lot of paint to paint this deck lid. I got that trim panel back in and fits exactly the way it should. That's a factory Ford part, and it just finishes off the trunk so nicely. When I was at the Rebellion car show, I saw Popcorn there and decided to get him to do some pinstriping on the back of my car. I brought my paints along, and he did all the orange again on the outside. Then he did something I didn't expect, was this. And I really like that. Now what I'm going to do is probably wait maybe a month to put some clear on this. I'll hopefully be able to show you an updated progress on this in a later video. If you've made it to this point and you've gone through all my video follies and my bad editing, then please subscribe and share.